Welcome back, you beautiful fucks. It's me, Danny, and today we have a great video. Sort of. It's not my favorite movie, but it's Final Wars. Okay? We're ending the Millennium series finally, and we're doing it with a two-parts video of looking at all the Final Wars figures I have. On a side note, my right ear is clogged. That doesn't affect the video, but it affects me. Send me your thoughts and prayers, please, because I could not hear out of my right ear. That's how bad. I tried cleaning it with a Q-tip, which I know you shouldn't do, and I think that's what started it. And I just pushed a whole bunch of wax down there, and because wax keeps coming out, but it's just so clogged, it's sad. Anyway, that's enough of my problems. This is the first figure we're looking at. This is the most recent Bandai movie monster series, Godzilla 2004. Fun Danny fact of the day. 2004 Godzilla is not my favorite design. It might even be one of my least favorites. Maybe not that far down the list, but just not one of my favorite designs. And this Playmates figure here does not do it any favors, because my goodness, what the fuck happened there? I'll tell you what happened. Playmates happened. My goodness. Yeah, so movie monster series, that figure looked good for, being movie accurate. Bandai does a good job. Playmates here, they did something. They put the new guy to work. It's like they try to draw him from memory, but the person drawing doesn't know how to draw, or has very limited art skills. Because my goodness, it's one of those, like the Playmate figures. Some of them are so bad you just have to have them, and that's how I feel about this guy. Because I almost didn't pick him up. I was like, I have to look at them. I saw him in stores. I was like, that's a keeper. That's gonna make for some good conversation starters. Look at that face. It's not a bad figure. It's not a bad pose or anything like that. You can see here the tail, like there's a seal there. You think the tail would move, but no, it moves further down. But there's nothing wrong with that. The spikes I pointed out earlier really spread out. There's a big gap in between them. Here's the face of the movie monster series again. God, my ears just. I have headphones on too, so now it just feels even more weird. Like, I was at work today, I could just not hear some of my coworkers talking to me. I was like, "What? What are you saying?" And oh shit, look at that! All right, blast from the past. This is the Bandai Creations, Bandai America, Godzilla 2004. I remember they did a Final Wars wave back a year or two after Final Wars came out in the US, I think, which was straight to DVD, I'm pretty sure. So, but yeah, this is for what it is, it's a good figure. Definitely not my favorite. Again, it's just not my favorite suit of mine, even though some of the Millennium suits are some of my favorites, but also this 2004 is just something about him. Maybe it's the dorsal plates and the very wolf look to his face. I'm just not a huge fan. This figure has very glossy hands, very glossy palms for some reason. I don't know why. I also have a bit of a stuffy nose. I'm just kind of all over the place right now. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm sick and there's just sinus pressure, but I swear it started when I was cleaning the ear. Do not use a Q-tip. It kind of hurt back there, but I didn't like the other ear didn't hurt. I don't know. You guys aren't my doctors, okay? I shouldn't be venting this to you. It's a problem. I'm going to urgent care tomorrow. I'm going to be like, hey, I need this. I need to listen to my Hillsongs United to keep me sane at work. So please fix me. And they'll be like, pay us, and then we'll stick something in your ear or power wash your ears, whatever they do. There's this comparison between the two American companies, both made in China. So definitely the movie monster series is probably the best out of the three, and it's the most recent. So, but the original Creations wasn't bad. And we have a little special guest here. This is a gastropon, I believe is what they're called. 2004. I forget where I got this. I think I bought something from someone on Facebook or eBay, and they threw this in for free, which is very nice of them. So, I think it comes apart too. I'm not too familiar with too many of the gastropon stuff. I don't really collect too much of it. In fact, most of them I have. I only have 2 or 3, and 2 of them were all freebies given to me. I'll point out a callus, a little callus on my hand. It's kind of gross. That's what you get when you're lifting the dead weights or doing barbell rows, just barehanded it. Get them calluses. Earn them. It's not a right. It's a privilege. We're looking right here, though, at... This is a Bandai 10-inch. I almost said Movie Monster series. It's not. This is just a Bandai 10-inch Godzilla. And it's special to me because this is my third Godzilla figure ever. So now you guys have seen my first 3 Godzilla figures, and those are the 3 that stick out to me because they were from Japan. Everything I got after that started with the Bandai Creations line that I would pick up at like Kmart or Toys R Us or something. But the first 3 figures, which was my first one, the GMK 2001 Godzilla, then Kiryu, Heavy Armor, and then now Final Wars Goji here. Again, also had the tag, but I took it off because I was a dumb kid back then. But this one came from one of my parents' friends who they met in college, and she's from Japan, and she would come visit. When she would bring me and my sister Japanese toys. She brought me a toy gas station that was like for Hot Wheels. That was cool. But then another time she came, she brought me that Godzilla. We're looking at the Playmates 2004 giant Godzilla here. I know I'm kind of rambling, but you know me. I ramble all the time. So this guy is glossy. Just dropped him in baby oil when they made him. This is obviously, well, I was going to say, like, this is based off the Bandai Creations, but it's not. That's a different mold, so ignore that. Slight error in my facts, which I don't look that far into. But at least I'm not a certain YouTuber who tried saying that Godzilla doesn't work in America. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. That cow's been beaten to death already, but here's Manda. Recent Manda. You all know about him, her, whatever they identify as. This is the Movie Monster series 2004. It's an okay figure. I'm happy to have a Manda figure. It's not the first one from Movie Monster series. They obviously did Singular Point first, and then they did this one right here. I'm hoping they will do a original Manda or one from like Destroy All Monsters, but YMSF still has the best Manda figure in my opinion. If you don't have it, I suggest keep an eye on YMSF's pages to see whenever they sell it. But nonetheless, this Final Wars Movie Monster series is a good one. It gets the seal of approval. Unfortunately, I'm all out of seals because I lost them. So I'll have to put it on a rain check. This is Hedorah, the snot monster. The 2004 version as well. Obviously, because it's all Final Wars here. We should know what's going on. We know what the drill is. We know the theme of this video. I really like this figure. I like that the hands move compared to other Hedorah figures from like the Showa era. Obviously, that's just comes with the suit design and all that, but still, this is a very nice figure and a good design for a Showa monster to be brought back in the Millennium era. And here we have, I believe these are from Bandai. This is a small, like 3 3/4 figure that got like a Target at one point, and this is not bad either. This is pretty good for its size. I wish they still made. I know Super 7 does this stuff now, but I'm not a big fan of Super 7's little retro figures, and they're $20 a pop now, which is way too much. Like that Hedorah was probably like 10 or 8. So here's the scaling. Gashapon does not scale too well. Oh, I mean, that's not a bad scaling, to be honest. I'm okay with Hedorah being a little bigger. The Movie Monster series, it's pretty good scaling, I think. I forget how big Hedorah was in Final Wars because you see him for like 3 seconds, and then he gets stabbed by Ebirah. Moving on, though, we have Monster X. Okay, so this is the recent Movie Monster series version, and it's okay. I'm just happy that people who don't have a Monster X in their collection have a chance to get it, because that's what matters, is having representation in the collection, having ease of access to some figures without paying insane amounts of money, even though these figures are already kind of pricey to get over from Japan, unless they end up on the Godzilla store, and even then it's still a little pricey. Enough rambling, Danny. Let's focus. Figure it's okay, obviously, because the paint is very lacking. I don't know the paint budget. I've talked about it before. I guess it's They gotta spread it as much as they can, but still not a bad figure, you know. If you want to add some more white to it, you can. Articulation is very, very basic, but it's still just nice again to see Monster X get represented. I'm hoping. What am I saying? No, never mind. I was gonna say I was hoping Playmates would do it, but I completely forgot Playmates doesn't do the classic Toho line. They could have did this, but they went with Godzilla Terrestrius instead. You know, someone made that decision. I'm talking about Playmates while I dangle a keychain in front of me as a comparison to a 6-inch figure. So I don't collect those keychains anymore. I don't really like to gamble. You know, I like to know what I'm buying, and I say that as someone who really wanted the King Caesar keychain and never got it because I kept buying these blind bags and never got them. But I did get Monster X, so that's pretty cool. Whoa. Oh, God, I'm burping, and that hurt my ear because it's just clogged. Jesus. This is 10-inch Monster X, and I'm very fortunate to have this figure. It looks great. However, mine in particular, I bought used off eBay, obviously. And you're going to see here, it has a lot of markings on it. I'm guessing a child had this. They played with it. There's like yellow and red on it. And I don't know if I want to like risk trying to cover up the spots with some paint. You know, just a light gray is all it is. It probably looked better than the yellow and red you'll see. Like you can kind of see right there on the left or here. We're zooming in on it. See it? And I try to clean it. I don't know if it's like scraped off paint or just the kid, whoever had this, playing with it. But, you know, we'll see. And it's like everywhere on the figure. They dropped him in mac and cheese and ketchup. And I don't know. He was having one hell of a battle with his toys. Really playing with his food. So, but I'm still happy to have this figure because even with the macaroni and cheese all over it, it's oh my goodness, the tragedy. I broke him as I praised him. Just kidding. That tail falls off very easily, and but I looked at it. It looks fine. Like the joint, it's just a very loose fit, kind of. Not too loose, but you play with it too much, it just comes off. And here I'm kind of going through the articulation, like. Compared, if you go rewind the video and look at the articulation of the Movie Monster series and then compare it to what I'm doing now with this, it really shows you what we had back then. You know, we had some really, really solid figures with good details, good paint, besides the ketchup and cheese, and with some good articulation. But you know what? It's okay, because some of that articulation is pretty limited, and these are supposed to be basic figures. So it's okay to have some basic articulation. These are not SH Monster Arts. They're not here to hit the gritty. They're not going to do crazy poses. And now he's walking his keychain. So I'm very happy with them to get the thumbs up. What are we doing next? That's it. That's the end of part 1. So there's a little pose I have for you. All these figures are great. Again, 2004 Godzilla. You know, not my favorite design, but the figures are pretty cool, especially the Playmates one. That is top notch. That is the Mona Lisa of figures, if I do say so myself. Manda was okay. Hopefully, if they do another Manda figure, Bandai gets a little bit more creative with the posing instead of just making a stick. Hedorah, great figure, and Monster X, very, very nice figures, and just happy that they did it again in the Movie Monster series, although it could use a little bit more paint. That is the summary of today's video in part 1. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for tomorrow where we do part 2. And then next week, we'll be doing the collection video along with an unboxing. So, until next time, I hope you all take care, and I'll see you all next time.